Discounty is a cozy supermarket management sim with a bit of a twist. You journey to the small town of Blomkest to help your aunt run Discounty, a brand new supermarket in town. Not everyone is happy to see you or the new store. You are going to get caught up in some small town drama. In this game, you can organize and plan your shop layout, you get to know people in town, start uncovering some secrets, and as a nosy person, this game is great for me. I was lucky enough to get an early look at Discounty, and I have been super addicted to the game ever since. So I just wanted to share some tips and things that I've learned as I play that might be helpful for you. The first thing I really enjoyed about this game is that you can edit the appearance of your character at any time. I know that sounds really simple, but it is something I enjoyed as not every game does that. But you can go into the trailer that you live in, go to the mirror, and you can update your appearance anytime you want. Another thing that's helpful is understanding the working hours and time that you have in a full day in Discounty. So the working hours are 9 to 5, and that in real time is about 3 minutes. The time in the morning before opening is also about 3 minutes, and then time after closing until you have to go to bed before you crash is about 8 minutes. But don't worry, time pauses when talking to people, and you have Sunday off from the store to work on stocking your items that you might need, and you can also spend some time going around the town, talking with folks, and working on side quests. Speaking of time, something else to be mindful of is that when Delivery Guy is delivering your packages, there is a timer for 160 seconds to unload all the packages. So that is something to just take note of while you're ordering things and how much you're ordering. Be sure to check out the computer in the back room daily. There are daily challenges as well as a weekly challenge you can complete in order to cash in on some rewards. So I like to do this in the morning to see what the challenges are. A lot of times it is checking out a certain amount of happy customers, ordering a certain number of crates, selling a certain amount of items, things like that. Most of the rewards are going to be new items that you can unlock and stock in your store. There are going to be a couple extra pocket upgrades that you can unlock, which is going to be super helpful as you progress in the game and you need more space to carry more items. Another reward you can unlock is a barcode scanner. You can unlock this by redeeming a certain number of reward points and after upgrading your store one time. Early in the game, you have a cash register you can use to type the number of items multiplied by the price. You can also simply type in the amount after doing some quick math. So, for example, if you have 2 fish sticks, you can type the number 30 instead of 15 times 2. The barcode scanner becomes a quicker way to check your customers out without having to flip through the catalog and remembering the price of each item. I have seen some folks actually prefer the system early on in the game, so I will mention that once you unlock the barcode scanner, you cannot go back to the cash register. So just be mindful and think about if that is something you really want to unlock. If you want to unlock the barcode scanner or stick with the original cashier system that you have at the beginning. I personally enjoy the barcode scanner. I feel like once you get the hang of which way you are supposed to scan the items, it does become a lot quicker, especially during busier times in your store. One small but impactful tip, at least for me, was moving the sponge and the water to clean the floor up closer to the front of the back room. Running back and forth, it's not the worst thing in the world, but it does save you some time and just a headache later on if you have the water and the sponge closer to you. Another big tip to focus on early is negotiating trade deals. There are 3 trade deals to negotiate, and this starts with speaking to Barbara down by the fishing dock. Each person you negotiate a trade deal with provides you with items to sell in Discounty. Make sure to check which date each person restocks their items on. For example, Barbara's going to restock her items on Mondays. There are also perks you can unlock here by completing challenges, which are to sell certain amounts of each item. There are a variety of perks such as discounts on products, posters you can print, and more stock. To print posters, you can find a printer in the building that Elmer is usually in. Well, I should say when he decides to work. Printing posters helps boost sales. More advertising means more customers, and more customers means more money. You can put 2 posters on the bus stop, 2 by the turn bar, and 3 by the harbor. This was something that early on I didn't really understand the importance of, but once I started putting posters up, I did notice that there were more customers in my store. Another tip is to check the hardware store often. I was also not doing this super frequently, but I did start to notice that there are different items that the hardware store provides on different days. So sometimes they have different kinds of coolers. So I've seen deep coolers, I've seen more appealing coolers. They have different perks on them as well. I've also seen the items that can boost sales in your store. So there is a cow head that makes customers want to buy animal products more. There is a fish tank you can put to sell more of the seafood items, different things like that. So I would definitely take a look at the hardware store and see what he has to offer you. The Crinkle OS system, where you find your map, also has a customer section with bios for all the people around Blomkest. I thought it was a really fun addition that shows the characters' backgrounds and personalities. The map is also super helpful when you need to find someone in town to speak to. It shows where they are. Now, time for some general information about the game. Not necessarily tips, but some things that I think other players might be curious about or just had some questions about. So, Discounty, the full main story in the game takes about 20 to 25 hours to complete, with about 30 to 35 hours for 100% completion. There is no multiplayer mode in Discounty, and also there is no romance or marriage system in the game. There are some friendship events, so just continue to talk to the townspeople, get to know them, no matter how questionable they may be. If you've played the game and you have your own tips and tricks that you wanted to share, please drop them in the comments. Also, if you have any questions or need any clarifications on anything mentioned in the video, please let me know. I'm happy to share. Thank you again to Crinkle Cut Games for giving me early access to the game. I've really been enjoying it so far. I have been obsessed with laying out my store a certain way, changing how it looks. There's a lot of customization in the store. I like that you can change the floor, the walls. It's all been so fun to me so far, so I really appreciate it. And I hope you guys have a good day. I'll see you next time. Bye.